When they sweat the technique. Don't sweat the technique. I wanna know how many times I went to break up the soldiers never found all the pieces yet. Scientists try to solve the contact, but I suppose you wanna win one stand. Pieces of truth, the black and circle, they look at the soul, they hate the circle. My ideas are only for this is my voice and my 10 years. Get to the first score, gotta put together for the people score. I'm so structure, form structure, because of my culture, I'm for the structure. Step out of people, technology, between the sights and the heights after I get deep. You don't have to reach the sleep. To beat the technique. It's cool when you bring to the beat. Don't sweat the technique. Don't sweat the technique. Don't sweat the technique. You get moves like 501 brothers alive, but I bet you I'm out, son. So let me get a part of scene and redeem the dream of a team. And after my life, next green, smoke some top weed flow at a high speed, rap on all breaks, summer ain't no place. Cause I'm living larger than a balance of 50. And Asiatic brothers that many rappers envy. So round up the food and entourage, and let the commercial just take charge. Shit, like this, when it comes to the show, yeah. Puff and puff, but the lock won't get blown down. Cause I come strong, that is how I roll and I'll be ready. That's what separates me from the petty. If these gas themselves are niggas too much shady, it's one to fuck up like the petty. I'm rich and thick, it works like Andrew Mara. It doesn't take heat and I'll be wasting on the holler. Get your something in the right like Uncle Ron. So take a free from Ron, say here's a panorama. Quick like Billy, yet with no comma. Ron so dangerous, call from the holler. Socks, and I can let you where I'm at. Giving you the line of elemental like struggle of earth. Got game like a crackhead, but don't be missed. I keep rapping on lock like a dread. Knocked in the head from the words that I said. You gotta shovel a nigga ready for the shit that's on the set. I never feels like jacks, have on like jacks, and I'm over like hot tracks. That's why I focus on the show that pressure looking from start. The finish out the finish like prison on second and consider critics. Who's standing? Ooh, we got it out. Yo, what I gotta do? Why's my name a law professor? Cause I'm able to carry other words I get your head for. Don't talk about how you can break Rambo. That's just a bunch of marriage and handful. Propaganda, saving for some man, the joke and the man, the sacking out the tantrum. Don't let the folks around you wait off your head. Cause you'll be the owner of a hospital bed. I can't fly out your ass so fast. You'll be as creepy as my way to go back. I got you double checking. Then again, don't see it, sit up backing. Open and only if you're only in naked. Living for a crowd, and if you want to wreck it. The name is stress, like silk I get slipped. Drop rhymes like the bass head big flips. Constantly. Yes, it's me, D-R-E-S. So yes, I guess unless you're best, you can go down to serious business with this. I never owned a honey that I didn't like. I never saw a mile that I couldn't hike. I never had a split to make me choke. I never had a pocket that was broke. Ain't no one but love, only a few. Frank the Grant and yeah, Monster. I run buck wild for supper with the crew, but then again, I know what you do. Now I hear my voice. Is it what you want? I hope it is. If you're the flavor of the month. I heard you got the people for the flavor. I heard you got the people for the flavor. I heard you got the people for the flavor. Somebody said you had it going on. I heard you got the people for the flavor. I heard you got the people for the flavor. I heard you got the people for the flavor. Hurry up and get a scoop before it's gone. So you got the people for the flavor. Chocolate sarsaparilla orders in your life and other flavor in my socks. So the curly rocks, black sheep rolling hard and I compete on top of the box. Never have I ever, never, ever felt much better. Did the whole line, more than 10 hours no better. Ready and I'm eager. Eager as a beaver. On the radio, then the closest a receiver. Not the people go to the old school writers. Neither am I needs for the lures for the practice. Just around flower, who's not afraid of trouble. So the people of the world of the life to say a day. Had to wait a while, but the while has been waited. Never gave up hope in myself motivated. Didn't shed a tear when I wasn't thinking. Cause I gotta come now with a lick. I heard you got the people for the flavor. I heard you got the people for the flavor. I heard you got the people for the flavor. Somebody said you had it going on. I heard you got the people for the flavor. I heard you got the people for the flavor. I heard you got the people for the flavor. Hurry up and get a scoop before it's gone. Now I catch a number one before I put it later. Now I give a pound before I give a stare. Now I guess I kinda got it going on. I get a wake-up call on the norm. I used to try to push a devil, now I have a coup. That's a bit more than a little, but then I try to feel. Funny how they fight on their soldier get lost. Tell me why you're crippled when you have no pedal floss. What's a hot loss? 40-year-old horse, you never knew how much fish are in course. But then, I'm not sweating. Your girl will really play away. It ain't happy to play. Now everybody wants to play. I see him with a spoon, I see him with a comb. You know I knew what you would, but I knew you won't pursue it. Hurry up and get a scoop before it's gone. I heard you got the people for the flavor. I heard you got the people for the flavor. I heard you got the people for the flavor. Somebody said they had it going on. I heard you got the people for the flavor. I heard you got the people for the flavor. I heard you got the people for the flavor. Hurry up and get a scoop before it's gone. Shit.
I see some bright new faces. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome to the first
I
time.
brought my sister.
Oh, hi sister. Hello. Yeah, so I guess since we've got a pretty new-ish crowd, yeah, let's do some introductions. I'll go first. My name is Blake. I am the hip-hop teacher here at BreakOut Studios. Hip-hop and street style teacher. They are different. I've been dancing for 11 years-ish, right? So, I was classically trained for about 7 years throughout the time, including ballet, tap, jazz, very modern, and everything like that. But in 2014, throughout that whole time, I was also studying hip hop. Or what I thought was hip hop, mostly choreography style dance. 2014, I was introduced to hip hop and street styles, and I just dove in. Right? So, yes, if we have any questions about that later, please feel free to ask as to what the difference is and what they both mean.
I would like to know what they both mean. What's the difference?
Oh, okay. I guess we can discuss that now. So hip hop originated in 1973, and it's kind of like the first. How do I explain this? One of the newer styles that kind of stemmed a culture, a culture, right? So. Yes, please feel free to get water after this time. I'm talking a little bit. Yes, so hip hop, what hip hop is it's basically just the popular moves at the time, right? And so I will explain a little bit later, maybe even after the class, what hip hop really means as far as the etymology of it. But basically, this guy, he wanted to throw a party, and it was basically a back to school party, honestly. And in this party, he was the DJ, right? So he was the one creating the music. He had break dancers there who were dancing to the song. He had an MC there who was hyping up the crowd. He was like, "Hey, how's the break doing tonight?" Blah 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 blah. Right? In this moment, a big form of expression was graffiti, right? During the 1960s, 1970s, there was a lot of oppression and a lot of a way for a lot of people to express themselves was not through violence, but through art, right? So they went to graffiti. And those became known as the 4 elements of hip-hop culture. Those 4 created hip-hop culture. And so those are the elements of it. It wasn't until recently, probably 2010, that people started studying hip-hop at universities. A lot of philosophers dove into what hip-hop culture means. And so it wasn't until about 2010 that a 5th element of hip-hop came about. And that 5th element is knowledge, right? So we have DJ, the one who creates the music. Your b-boy, your breakers, the ones who visually express, right? The music and the form and the art and everything like that. We have graffiti, the writing expression of it, right? Another form of artistry. DJ, b-boy, graffiti. Oh, the MC, the one who was keeping the people alive, keeping the people in an upbeat zone, you know what I mean? And then knowledge. And those 5 elements create hip-hop. As for street styles are a little bit different. They developed separately from hip-hop. Street styles, there are 5 street styles, which include locking, which came first. That was created in 1970, originating from the disco era, right? 1970, really big disco time. I don't know, is anybody familiar with Soul Train? Right? Yeah, Soul Train. Okay, yeah, Soul Train. So Soul Train was on Soul Train. They used to bring the top performers of the time onto the show, right? And on Soul Train, you had the original Lockers, you had the Tuda sisters, you had all these famous, the Electric Blues. You know what I mean? All these famous dancers, and those were street style dancers. They were the first to do their style of dance. There's a different technique, there's a different knowledge, there's a different history to those styles. There's locking, there's popping, there's house, not necessarily from Soul Train, there's whacking, and then there's breaking. Right? So those are the 5 street styles that have their own.
Isn't that one crumping?
Crump?
Yeah. That's different?
Yes, no, you're right. Sorry. Yes, crump.
What is one?
So breaking and hip hop coincide together, and then it's locking, popping, house, whacking, and crump. Yes, those are the 5 styles. Correct. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, I knew
No, yeah, that's right. I completely forgot about crump. I haven't touched on crump in a while. Yeah, so breaking and hip hop go together, and then the 5 street styles are kind of stem from each other in their own ways. Here we will be exploring hip hop. and we won't touch on breaking, don't worry. Hip hop, so breaking was the original form of hip hop, right? That's kind of what happened. People were out there competing in the streets. A lot of people of color during the time would get into like rivalries, gang rivalries and stuff like that, and to avoid going back to prison or back to jail, they would dance. They would dance for turf, right? And that's why breaking is so competitive, because it stems from the streets, you know what I mean? Like it stems from gang rivalries. Well, for the people who weren't necessarily as athletic as the breakers, they created more of a social dance, right? Just having fun, grooving it out, you know what I mean? Doing all this stuff where other people could do that, and that's where hip hop comes in, and that's how they diverged from each other. So they originally started off with one thing, and then they diverged based on the athleticism and the social dance aspect of it. Does that make sense? Cool. Yeah. Cool. Little history. Little history as to where that comes from. Yeah, and it's cool that some of you guys are familiar with Soul Train. If you're not familiar with Soul Train, look it up. It's super cool. What was his name? Don Cornelius? Yes. Yeah, Don Cornelius. He was the host of Soul Train.
He's not around anymore.
I don't think so. No, I think he passed. Yeah. But yeah, if you have any questions about street styles, please feel free to ask me about that maybe after class, or I have my street styles class today at 8:30 to 9:30. We'll be setting copy. But anyways, yes. As for hip hop, we have those 5 elements: DJ, breaking, graffiti, MC, and knowledge. And recently introduced. As for hip hop dance, we have 3 fundamental moves. Lily, would you like to express what those 3 fundamental moves are?
The skate,
We have the skates,
bounce,
bounce,
and the rock.
rock. Yes, those are our 3 fundamental moves, right? We have our skate, our rock, and our bounce. So, our basic bounce, right, is going to be a knee technique, right? Everything's sitting in the knees. So, we're just bouncing. Give me 2 8 counts. Ready? 6, 7, 8, go bounce. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, again. 2, 3, 4. This is the basic bounce. Good job, everyone. Super basic. With this basic bounce, you can step side to side, right? You can travel with it. You can step out in. You can go out, in, out, in, out, in. This is a basic bounce. Okay? Does that make sense for everybody? Good. For our second type of bounce, we have the MC rock bounce. Same concept. We just bring a leg up, right? So if we like have our hand up here, imagine that we're swiping, cutting a little bug off our shoe. We're going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, 7, 8. Right? Another way that I like to explain to people is you can come up right forward. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. That is the MC rock bounce. Basically the basic bounce, but with that leg coming up. Our third bounce, our third type of bounce is our boxer's bounce. Okay? If you ever look at boxers, right, they're very light on their feet. They have this pattern to it, right? Boom, 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 boom. It's very quick, right? If we're counting that with music, we are hitting the 1 and the and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, right? So with that, we're hitting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, 7, 8 and. So a little different from your basic and your MC rock. The basic and the MC rock sit on the downbeat, the 1, the 2, the 3s, and the 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4. Your boxer bounce hits the and in between. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8 and. Does that make sense? Do you have any questions about those? No. Vous n'avez pas de questions? Non. Est-ce qu'il y a quelqu'un qui parle français? Un peu? Un peu? Tu parles français? Oui? Vous parlez français? No? Okay. Don't worry. This is not a French class. We won't be speaking French. I have experience. Okay.
Brought
Yes.
back memories from high school there. I have flashbacks.
It's my minor in college, so that's what I study like every day of my life. Cool. So those are our 3 different types of bounces. As for the rock, right? This is more of a hip strategy instead of a knee strategy. So with our bounce, if we face this side, with our bounce coming from the knees, your knees go forward, right? With our rock, it's bad day order final, but it's coming from the hips. Boom, boom, right? So we're bending at those hips. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. We can also go back on that downbeat. So instead of going down, we can go back. So 6, 7, 8. We're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 8, right? Okay, cool. That right there is how to distinguish the rock from the bounce, right? Whether we're using our knees or our hips. We can use both. Cut, cut, right? We can do all this crazy stuff with our knees and our hips. That we're blending the bounce and the rock together, okay? Yes, so that's the rock, the bounce, and then our skates, right? So if we're facing, so if we have an imaginary box, right, that we draw, right? We are facing that corner of our box. Good. We want to skate out, boom, right? We're coming center, and then we want to close everything in, boom. Good, yeah. And then you open up, close. Open, close, open, close. This skate is also using the bounce, right? So that's kind of what I was explaining in the warm-up, is when you come down, you want that bend in the knees. To come up, to come back down again. Boom. Down, up, 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 down. Good. Yeah, that looks a lot better. That is our skate. We can use all of these being stationary, right? Exactly how we were doing during the warm-up. Or we can use this to travel. Boom, cut, boom, cut, boom. Right? So, 3 fundamental moves. We have our rock. And then we have our and we have our
skate.
Yeah! My gosh! Cool. So now that we have those out of the way, let's see. I want to play around with them. Okay? So we'll play around with them just a little bit. We'll get some water, and then we'll go into a little bit of vocabulary. Okay? And I'll explain what that means in just a little bit. But as for now, we're just going to kind of move around and play with those 3 fundamental moves. Okay? Cool. We'll try to build a little combo.
Sitting back with this mic in my hand, spitting hot shit, trying to see brains. Independent on my mind every minute. Make my plans and you always in the truck. It's such a vibrant thing. Vibrant thing, a vibrant thing. And even though we both fly, give each other space and not get in the eye. Acting like grown-ups, don't even try to hide cause the spot blown up. Girlfriend telling you she wanna see. I say I know, but you say gladly. And when we both do that, we go on and on and on and on and on. Sweeter than Ben and Jerry. Can't find me, you know I get mine. Sitting down in my abstract car. This abstract thing going abstract car, yeah. Such a vibrant thing. Vibrant thing, a vibrant thing. Yeah, such a vibrant thing. Vibrant thing, a vibrant thing. Yeah, such a vibrant thing. Vibrant thing, a vibrant thing. Yeah, such a vibrant thing. Getting back to my MC status, so the way that I can't make the other niggas mad. Real talent situation. Shorty but she told her what she really was getting when she shook the thing violated. Now these four flight thoughts are formulated. I'm taking them with some heartfelt shit here. And mine's still on that nigga, but shit, yeah. Plus we can hold the combo, or go to the movies, my crib, whatever, yo. Just wanna see you go outside. Going 95, no sketches in the vibe. I'm not a nigga for real. You will find me in the cycle if I didn't cop a deal. Rap straight like Gregory, who by I so we spit big cat. Cause we live bad. You really bad, I'm sick of little bad. Yeah, such a vibrant thing. Vibrant thing, vibrant thing, yeah, such a vibrant thing. Vibrant thing, vibrant thing, yeah. Such a vibrant thing. Vibrant thing, vibrant thing, vibrant thing, vibrant thing. Vibrant thing, vibrant thing.
in, guys.
It's fun.
Come on back, come on back. Alright, so how are we doing?
Excellent.
Yeah, good? Yeah, good. How do we feel? How do we feel with our 3 fundamental moves of hip hop?
Awesome.
Yeah, not bad. Good. Yeah, I know some of us are already a little bit familiar with it, right? Yeah, so, just see how each move can be incorporated into each other, right? So, we have our basic bounce, right? We can do our variation of the basic bounce, right? Just switching those knees. This step right here, it's kind of an MC rock bounce, right? So you're step up, step up, step up, step up, right? So that's basically the MC rock bounce. Going into our skate, right? We have our couple different types of rocks. Yeah, and just stuff that we can add with our rocks, right? So there's a whole lot of stuff that you can do with these fundamental moves alone. I'm just switching them up and sequences and adding moves, taking out body parts, whatever, excuse me, whatever you want to do, you know? Do we have any questions on any of it? Anything feel weird, uncomfortable? No.
You know balance. Once your feet come up, are you like rocking onto your heels?
A little bit, yeah. Okay, so that's a good question. So when you're doing your basic bounce to center, right? Not really, right? Everything stays here. But when you're going right, left,
Yeah.
you always, so just injury prevention, right? Understanding our bodies a little bit. We always want our knee to go over our toes, right? So if we're watching, we don't want, bad time to wear black pants, but we don't want our knees coming in like this. We don't want our knees going out like this, right? So in order to keep our knees over our toes in the right to left scenario, we pick up our toes to face the direction that we want to go. Boom, and boom, and boom, right? So that way they're always in alignment. And in order to get your toes to switch, right, you do kind of want to swivel. Yeah, you kind of have to swivel it, right? You kind of do have to rock back on your heels to get your toes to go each direction. Good question. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. What else? Nothing? Okay, that's okay. Cool. So we have not a lot of time, but I do want to go over some vocabulary moves. Some we've already been introduced to, others not so much. What do we know about what is vocabulary?
Definitions.
Definitions. Okay. Words.
Use them to build bigger structures.
Bigger structures like sentences, right? Yeah. Good. Bigger definitions, words that we can use to build sentences. Well, in dance, vocabulary are certain moves equivalent to words that we can use to build routines equivalent to sentences or phrases, right? So that's kind of how you want to think about it. So, even just those vocabulary moves that we've gone over so far. One vocabulary term, your dogs. Another vocabulary term, your MC rock boom. Another vocabulary term, your skate, right? And we just put all of those together to make our sentence combination, right? So we're going to expand a little. This first move that I want to go over, it's going to be called the Steve Martin. All right? Does anybody know the Steve Martin? A little bit, yeah.
I think we did it last week.
Did we do it last week?
Is it the one that kind of goes like this?
Yes, yeah, just like that, yeah. That right there is the Steve Martin. Good, yes. So we're going to be facing to the right, just to start off, right? One foot in front of the other. All you're doing is you're going to hit step 1, bounce 2, 3, bounce 4. Keep going. 5, 6, 7, 8. Go 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, 6. Keep it going. Let's go. And boom, boom, cat, tick, cat, boom, boom, cat, boom, boom, cat, tick, cat, cat, boom, boom, cat, boom. Hey, let's go, class, let's go. Hey, nice, good job. Yeah, okay, so that's basically all you're doing with it. So we're gonna hit that 1, 2, 3. All right, so let's just hit 3. Ready? 5, 6. Step on the 1. Go 1 and 2 and 3 and stop. Go there. 5, 6, 7. You're going 1 and 2 and 3 and good. Keeping this left foot up, right? You're gonna do a little swivel. It's gonna come down, crunch. Yes. So you have your here, right? You just bent over. You want to come up to crunch to the other side. Good. Let's put all that together. Those 4 moves. So just watch. You're going 1 and 2 and 3 up, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, 6, 7. One more time. Let's go. Step and 2 and 3 and up. Crunch. Good. You guys are already starting that next side. So to catch your balance, this is on the 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. One more. Go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and good. Any questions with that?
It's a lot of balance when we're doing
It is,
slow.
yes. Oh, yeah. So it is a lot of balance just because we're doing it slow. But just understand the movement. The quicker you go with it, the more like momentum
Can
kind
I
of
watch you do it fast?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So fast. It's gonna go 5, 6, 7, 8. Go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and
Cool.
right? So, but watch there. Yeah, there is going to be a little difference, right? So tell me, watch the 2. Tell me what the difference is, right? Right. So that's 1. The other one is going to be
Oh, you're leaning.
Just the rock there.
yes, yes. We're for that first one, we're leaning into it, right? We're adding that rock. Good. Yeah. That's how that vocabulary is incorporated into it. So there's a difference between, right? The feet are correct, but you have a rock, and. Okay? So can we try it with music? Just kind of drilling it back and forth. We'll go slow and then we'll speed it up as we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
I need to do this like at a party. Straight, I'm going to straight
Yes. Yeah.
Very calm.
Oh, roll riders, big riders. We're having a party over there.
Just watch it. Slow.
And you up, mother so sick. Ain't nothing better than to ride out the hood with it. You looking bad and think you looking dead in it. Take a chance with a nigga in a church ride. Listen to the CDs, I play this side. Both of them get the race of Speedway. Mama said that's that living in Biggie. And when the evening is over, love, go to find a nice spot, go to roll, love. Do things to make a man in the mood, love. My mind race, but I saw my waist go to what? Use the upper echelon piece. So when you find it, stand and you go quick. You put a little on the nigga here. And you wanna get that nigga wanna get here. But I'm a police representative. Get wild like 80 years, right sensitive. When we done, I started up again. Then my girl was shooting you, my special friend. Me and you, I think we should ride. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Don't worry, just don't get inside. Come on, come on, come on. The single part, my life's like art. We get creative in it when we take it out of city. The backseat is the canvas we paint at home. Abstract and gold, we aim at home. The TV's in the back, in the dash, too. Got this happening to that too. Don't worry, the text got the leader one. Out there, freaking loud in my eardrum. But when the hood is you come through the still man. Outsiders looking in with the ill man. You elected, brain, you inspected. You got tested, details perfected. Got the arm all touch, baby out the dust. Looking back, no spilling on my butt clutch. Kick off your shoes, jump off your pedicure. Shake off your boots, kick off and give you more. You know what
Definitely incorrect. Yeah, okay, that's okay. That's okay. Yes, the tricky part about that one is the weight change. Right? Yeah, leaning over that leg. And then this move right here. Ka. Right? So this comes from that swivel. Right? So if you look at my right heel when it's planted, it's gonna whoop. Yeah, so it kind of twists, just like that, Andy. Yeah, good. So that's all we do for that. That's just practice that at home, okay? It's a very common move in hip hop. You'll see it everywhere. You know, whether you go to a party or the clubs or whatever you use, right? So very
Is that
common.
still called Steve Martin, or is that a variation of it?
That would be the Steve Martin.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a Steve Martin. Yeah, another variation could be like boom, tap, boom, tap. So you're still hitting the, like you're hitting that rock into that twist, right? Yeah. That would be a variation. But this right here, this is gonna be the most common version of the Steve Martin. Boom, tap, boom, tap. Good. So the next move I want to go over is the Bart Simpson. Yeah? How many of you guys have seen The Simpsons?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, The Simpsons? I've actually never seen the show. Yeah, so you guys may know a little bit more than me about this. I don't know, maybe you guys have seen the show, I'm not too sure. Yes, it's called the Bart Simpson. So all you're doing is you're gonna slide, let's slide to the left. So you're going slide, and then you're gonna do a down, up, slide, down, up, and slide, down, up, slide, down, up, and stop. Good. Now, that's all the feet are doing and your body. Now just add the arms, so you're going slide, and up, and slide, and up, and slide, up, and slide, up, and slide, up, and slide. Keep it going, slide, up, and slide, up, and slide, up, and slide, up. Good. So, something I'm saying real quick. When you do your boom, tap, your leg does not come up when you come up. It kind of, it stays down, but it's just a cut. Right, so all you're really doing is you're kind of crunching in to step down. Alright, so, and if you take the leg out, it's just slide, up, slide, up, slide down, 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 up. Good. Slide down, up, slide down, up, slide down, up. Good. Can we try that?
That's why it's called the Bart Simpson.
I have no idea.
The States?
Oh, that's weird.
Maybe, yeah, it could be. Yeah, it kind of has like that skating to it. And I know Bart Simpson, he skateboards, doesn't he? Yeah, and skates. It could be it. Can we try that with music?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. We'll go slow, and then we'll speed it up.
Sweet as how we gon' make it look good. When you get that pain, the night that go by, but still I'm gonna have to put that mark in your eyes. Chaos, for these players, so you look ass, they was thinking of a lot to represent the touch and family like great day. We might get the time to take the back way. Step into the city, then we headed to that back gate. Ain't the game, jump, go to the fall, yeah. Look out that most like a door. Anyway, but anyhow,
I know, I did it. Yes, fantastic job, everyone. Yes, so remember, there are 5 elements to hip hop. We have DJ, breaking, graffiti, MC, and knowledge, right? We have 3 fundamental moves: our bounce, our rock, and our skates. And then within the bounce, we have our basic bounce, our MC rock bounce, and our boxer bounce, which we did not touch on today. Okay? If you guys have any questions at all about history, about culture, moves, please feel free to ask. I'm always here as a resource for you guys about hip hop, about freestyle, about dance, anything like that. Good job, everyone. I hope to see you guys all again. Thank
Oh, baby, man, do dog go. Da da dee da boom dee da.